get to these highlights. Taking on the Broncos, Jarvis Landry wearing customized cleats and Odell Beckham Jr. wearing customized Joker cleats. This would be an issue for the NFL later in the game. Quarterback Brandon Allen making his first start. His last start anywhere was the Liberty Bowl back in 2016 for Arkansas, looking just fine here. Tim?
Well, it helps when you give a receiver help you out when you throw a fade and you leave it inside. It's just an outstanding catch. Wow. Basically saying, look, route's off. I'm going to go beat the defender to the ball.
Yeah, that's actually a good point there. That probably would have been an interception maybe. Second quarter, Broncos up 7-3. Allen to Noah Fant. How do you like that?
This is the reason you drafted Noah Fant. Listen, he was there at Iowa with T.J. Hockenson. He's obviously the guy with the better measurables, and we see some of those playmaking abilities after the catch on the boot right there.
All right, guys, how do you feel about this? So the NFL, due to protocol, said you got to switch your cleats. Should you not know this before the game?
I'm pretty sure he knows. And in
so
fact,
why even go through this?
I guarantee you he knows.
Well, sometimes you're willing to take the fine. I mean, the NFL just stepped up and said you have to get them off your feet, but it doesn't matter what your shoes look like when you can make plays like this.
Odell Beckham Jr. there, gain at 27 later in the drive. The Browns in the red zone. Mayfield to Landry. That's a 9-yard touchdown, Tim.
That's a really sweet move in the open field. I mean, you see, these receivers are hard to get down once they get the ball. It's about, Baker's got to get them the ball, though.
There's Baker right there, trying to get the ball into Landry. That's going to fall incomplete. And the Browns losing to the Broncos. This was a winnable game. But Baker Mayfield, you look at his numbers here, so much pressure coming into this contest, 27 of 42, 273 yards and a touchdown. Brandon Allen, 12 of 20, 193 yards, 2 touchdowns. Impressive for the young man who hasn't had a snap in the NFL.
No question about it. All right, so here we go. Everybody said they've got the easy second half schedule. We got the Steelers twice. We got the Bengals twice. We got the Miami Dolphins. We got the Denver Broncos. Hang on a second. What happened?
Well, first off, what happens is Joe Flacco's neck's hurt. And sometimes you get guys like Allen that come in and they give your team a different energy. There's an excitement that they have to play the game. And we saw that from an offensive standpoint of the Denver Broncos. There was a drive of 95 yards in the second half, capped off by a Phillip Lindsay touchdown. So that's what happened on on defense for the Cleveland Browns. But offensively, they're still undisciplined. You still have some opportunities where you have chances to make plays where they just aren't doing it. And when you have the type of talent you have outside in the backfield and at quarterback, you have to be able to convert some of these tough situations like 4th and 4 after Odell Beckham Jr. had made 2 huge catches already.
I don't think that even with pros, I don't think that you can turn the switch. I don't think you can just change and all of a sudden be an undisciplined team and all of a sudden fix it in 1 week. It doesn't work that way. I think it's something that it is built on. It's a culture that is essentially cultivated and you go with it. And so I don't see it changing for Cleveland.
Aaron Rodgers, sub 200-yard pass.
Well, anytime you go 1 for 5 in the red zone, it's about execution. You've got to first be able to continue to run the ball down there, and then when you decide to throw the ball, you've got to execute. So that means you've got to block who you're supposed to block. You're supposed to run the right route. You're supposed to throw the ball in the right place. I'm not saying any of those happen. I'm just saying that's how you execute in the red zone. The field tightens. You have to be more precise. We completed one out of the back of the end zone, wide open, and had another a challenge for another ball in the end zone the next drive down there. So we just got to execute better down there. It was a play that we'd repped a little bit, a few times, and I'll have to look and see what exactly happened. I don't think it really turned out the way I wanted it to turn out, no. Again, I'll have to see it. I know it didn't. I know the result wasn't what I wanted.
What about the defense? We talked about them giving up big plays and not getting big stops in critical times. Why do you think that happened?
Well, I think You know, it comes down to just having your eyes in the right spot and making sure you're knowing what you're looking at. Especially with a team like this, they have misdirections, motions that go and don't really mean anything, and you've got to make sure you're focused on what you're supposed to do and where your eyes are supposed to be. I thought for the most part those guys played well, but again, some critical big plays that cost us.
Fourth straight loss. I mean, 2-6. What can you say about where your team is right now and how you're feeling?
Well, I think we got a bunch of guys that won't let up. They'll come to work Wednesday. They will watch this tomorrow. They'll come to work Wednesday, want to get better. Those guys, they did better with the pre-snap penalties. We did better with the turnovers, and that's the only thing that gave us a chance. You're never going to have a chance if you have the penalties and turnovers. It's sad that we couldn't make that play at the end of the game. And we had a big roughing the passer penalty that would have gotten us the ball back a little sooner than that. Really felt comfortable confident the whole game right there to the very end. So. Sir, I'm sorry, Tom. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got to get them down. We can't miss tackles.
Chubb was off the field on the 4th and 4.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not the 4th and 1, and the play right before that.
The sneak.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any reason why?
Well, it's no reason why other than that was the play that we run with Dontrell on the third down. I think you were talking about the 3rd and 4, maybe it was 3rd and 3. That was a kind of a run pass option that we did with Dontrell. I mean, Nick does it also, but in that instance, 3rd and 3, we like to switch the personnel up a little bit there, just because Dontrell is more of our third down guy. So if they're thinking you're throwing the ball, they're thinking, Dontrell's run that play many times successfully.
And if you're wondering, by the way, the next game for the Browns are going to be hosting the Buffalo Bills next Sunday at home, 1 p.m. Eastern. The Bills with a win over the Redskins today. To use Baker's words, well, against him, feeling dangerous, familiar. Not much improvement, even though this was supposed to be.
We're doing TV now. Yeah.
Just reading what's on the screen. Basically no difference from last year.